Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, SSG.B. Glad to be back here again with you this week. I know this week we said we'd cover the ASVAB in up to 3 different videos, but I'm going to try and do it in one. I think I can do it without stretching it out too long. So the ASVAB, as previously stated, is the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, it is a 9-section test that is going to cover various different sections. It's going to test your ability in those different sections. We're going to go over those sections here in a minute, so don't think I'm skipping. But its purpose is to assess how well you perform in these sections. Now, these sections are previously determined to be evaluated in the different jobs and things like that that you're going to have offered to you in the United States military. Now, first and foremost, you're going to be tested on 4 sections that make up the AFQT. That is the Armed Forces Qualification Test. That'll be the percentage that you get at the end of the test. The percentage is based on where you perform in reference to the population as a whole. Now, it's the Armed Forces Qualification Test, if I didn't already cover that, and it covers arithmetic reasoning, mathematics knowledge, paragraph comprehension, and word knowledge. It is going to assess your ability in those 4 areas. Now, once you get out of those 4 areas, again, you have to have a 31 and above to join the Army, which is the lowest score requirement of any military branch. The Air Force and the Navy and the Marines all require a 50 and above. I believe the Navy recently lowered it, but I'm not positive. So the other 5 sections that you're going to have are going to be general science, electronics information, auto and shop information, mechanical comprehension, and assembling objects. Now, general science is going to cover the life science, the earth and space science, and the physical science. So that's what it's going to go over. It's going to give you a varied amount of questions that will be timed. Each section is timed. So you will have questions in the general science. Then we're going to move on to the electronics information, which covers circuits, devices, and the different electronic systems. It's meant to assess your ability to solve problems and address issues with those systems. Now, if you don't do well in any of these sections, it's okay. We'll cover that at the end. So the next section that you're going to cover is the auto and shop information. This is going to test your knowledge of automotive repair and things like that, and your general shop knowledge. So that one's going to be fairly easy for most of us. So then we're going to move on to mechanical comprehension. Mechanical comprehension covers your knowledge of mechanical devices and structural support. Now, if you already don't know what I'm talking about, you're probably going to be at a loss with that one. So the last but not least will be assembling objects. Now, with assembling objects, we're going to be testing you on your ability with spatial relationships. So what I mean by that is it's going to be your ability to look at several different shapes, piece them together, and figure out what shape in the end they will make, okay? Again, if you don't do well in any of these particular categories, that's fine as long as you do well in the core 4. Because once you get out of the core 4, the other 5 are simply used for judging how well you're going to perform in what job types that we offer in the Army. Now, different branches look at different sections once you get out of the core 4, okay? Now, it's been previously determined by people who know a lot more than me about what makes up and the different knowledge bases for the different jobs and what is going to fit you best in what different areas. Obviously, if you do poorly in the electronics section, we know you're not going to be a military electrician. Sorry. You know, you can pause and cry about that later. But if you do well in general science, we know to put you in a science field position. Or let's say you did do well in electronics. We know that's what's going to appeal to you. You're going to excel at electronics. Now, let's say you do well in automotive and shop or the mechanical comprehension. So we know that the mechanic series of jobs is what's going to fit you best, and hopefully it's what you're going to like the best. Now, as far as the assembling objects and spatial relationships, that's going to get into the engineering side of things and those particular jobs. So we're going to look at your test as a whole once you've gotten out of those core four. Now, if you do so badly right up front, you're going to be booted out of the test and you won't have to take the full thing. But should you do well, get through the core four, the other five are just for our assessment purposes. So what you really need to focus on are the core four. That's the arithmetic reasoning, the mathematics knowledge, the paragraph comprehension, and the word knowledge. If you can do well in those, you have a bright future in the military. As long as you want it and it's out there for you, okay? Now again, I know we said just because you failed to make it into college means that you probably won't make it into the Army. That is an accurate statement. We don't just let anybody into the military. You do have to score well. And if you don't score well on, say, the ACTs or SATs, you're probably not going to score well on the ASVAB. It's simply the Army's version of similar tests, because those tests are meant to gauge you, intellectually and see where you perform and how well you're going to do. That being said, there are ways to improve your score. There are various different websites out there. The one that the Army recommends and funds is called marchtosuccess.com. It's www.marchtosuccess.com. Now, you may want to pause this. Go ahead and get out your pen and paper, because I'll give it to you again. www.march, M-A-R-C-H, the number 2, success.com. Now, the other one that we recommend as recruiters and we've had more success with is the 4tests.com. It is literally www.4tests.com. Now, once you go onto that site, you will see on the left or right hand side, you will see the ASVAB practice test and things like that. And what it is an abridged version of the ASVAB. It's a 25-minute version over the same 9 sections. It is ASVAB-like questions. So with that one, the reason why we recommend it is you can answer the question, and before you move on to the next one, you can go up to the top right and you can hit View Answer. Now, if you happen to be right, it'll tell you, hey, you're correct, and it will go into an explanation of the question. If you're wrong, it will tell you the correct answer. It will tell you why that's the correct answer. So this helps a lot of our people who have been out of high school for a while or been out of college for a while. It kind of brushes up and, gets the cobwebs off and refreshes your memory and helps you with those mathematic problems or the general science questions or any of that. It's a huge help in that area. And I would recommend at least starting to work on it a month out. I know there's various other books like ASVAB for Dummies and things like that. And, if that's your particular learning style, you learn better by reading and rereading and rereading, then that's great. Those of us who are visual learners, we prefer, to look at it online and do stuff online. That works too, and it's been the most successful for us in our particular recruiting environment. But if you find something that works out better for you, leave it in the comments. Help somebody else. That's what this is all about. Again, if you have questions, hit me up. Hit me up on my Facebook or my Twitter or my Instagram. YouTube. Put it down here in the comments. Feel free to leave me comments. This is about you guys. It is about helping y'all get prepared for the Army life. Guys, the Army life is worth it. And the better you do on your ASVAB right up front, the more opportunities you're going to have, okay? So again, do well and study hard. Try and study at least a month out. When you get to a week out, I would study hard within a couple of days. I would quit, just so that you can take kind of a mental break and get some time. But make sure that you go in there and you take your initial test and you do well, because if you do not do well and you have to retest, you may have to wait up to 30 days for the retest. Now, you are limited to the amount of retests you can take. And once you've taken, I believe, the 4th retest, you have to wait a 6-month period. And then after that, it goes up to a year, and it just gets longer and longer. So with that being said, I hope everybody has a great time and have a great rest of the week. And again, study, study, study. Be prepared. If you don't go in prepared, that's your own fault. Do not leave anything up to luck. Luck will not get you through this.